Ling Xuan had just proposed a 19-point split. But even if it was a 19, Lei Yong felt that he had lost. He wants to devour it all. And this place is far away from the Qingxuan Mountain Gate. Here, even if you do something that violates the door rules, no one will know. Ling Xuan, a person with no background, disappeared, and no one would notice. As for whether he could kill Ling Xuan, this question is not even on his radar. As a forging realm master, his skin, muscles and bones have been greatly enhanced. But Ling Xuan was just a small beginner to the forging body realm. Even if he stood here and let Ling Xuan attack, Ling Xuan would not be able to break his defense. But he only needed to punch and Ling Xuan would be seriously injured. His own suppression of Ling Xuan's huge realm is his strength. At this time, Ling Xuan pointed to the dying demon beast in front of him. Look, it's right there. Quote, you come to face it head on, and I will sweep the formation. Saying that, he drew the sword at his waist. Lei Yong was overjoyed and immediately walked over. All attention was on this demon beast. Unconsciously, the person behind him had already fixed his gaze firmly on the back of his heart. Now, the distance between Ling Xuan and Lei Yong was only half a meter. Lei Yong turned his back to him completely. Ling Xuan deliberately set up such a bureau in order to let Lei Yong completely expose the key point. Thunder Shadow Sword Technique. The long sword in Ling Xuan's hand stabbed violently. It's like a thunderstorm. It's like a viper that bursts out. Without warning, he accurately inserted into Lei Yong's back heart. Poof! Blood splattered. The severe pain struck, and Lei Yong suddenly realized that he was attacked by Ling Xuan. But at the moment he realized, it was too late. Strength is lost from the body like flowing water. He barely turned around, only to see Ling Xuan looking down at him indifferently. Lei Yong said in horror, you are not a beginner in the forging body realm. Quote, it would never be possible for a forging realm beginner to break through his defenses. The only answer was that Ling Xuan, like him, was also a forging realm dacheng. But isn't this person's foundation broken? Why can I continue to practice? Ling Xuan looked down at him. You must really want to know the answer. Quote. Lei Yong reluctantly nodded. For my sake. Checkmate. Tell, I. Ling Xuan drew his sword and pierced his throat directly, sneering, why let you die with peace of mind? Lei Yong's eyes bulged out like goldfish. To death, he didn't understand why Ling Xuan was able to repair his foundation and why he was able to reach the great completion of the forging body realm in such a short time. Ling Xuan's gaze was indifferent. Fighting Lei Yong head-on, he was also 7 or 8% sure of killing him. But there is also a 1-2% possibility that the person ran. Therefore, in order to ensure 100% killing, he laid out this game. The so-called dying second-order demon beast was just a larger first-order demon beast he found on the road, and he threw it here as bait after being seriously injured. Ling Xuan leaned over and searched for Lei Yong's body. Only more than 20 lower-grade spirit stones were found. However, it is normal. Who goes out to fight in the field and still carries all his possessions? Then, Ling Xuan came under the giant tree. The giant tree looked very normal, but when he stabbed it with his long sword, he found that it was hollow inside. After digging a big hole, Ling Xuan saw a flesh-colored Ganoderma lucidum in it. Sure enough, it's meat Ganoderma lucidum. Ling Xuan carefully took it out, wrapped it in a clean cloth, and put it in his arms. As for Lei Yong's body, he slashed more than a dozen more on his body with his sword, deliberately allowing blood to flow out, making the smell of blood in the air even stronger. There are many monsters and beasts here. When they smell blood, they will naturally come over. Demon beasts are the best way to destroy corpses. After killing Lei Yong, Ling Xuan felt no discomfort at all. Such wicked people deserve to die. Soon, Ling Xuan returned to the outer gate disciple courtyard at the foot of Qingxuan Mountain, returned to his residence, closed the door tightly, and closed the latch. Only then did he take out the meat Ganoderma lucidum from his arms. He carefully looked at this palm-sized flesh-colored Ganoderma lucidum. With a sniff, you can smell the refreshing fragrance. It makes people want to drool. With a slight poke, the meat Lingji trembled like a woman's tender skin. Ling Xuan first cut off a small piece of meat and stuffed it into his mouth. The meat Ganoderma lucidum melted in the mouth, and quickly turned into surging heat pouring into the internal organs and limbs. Just this thumb-sized bite made him feel warm and extremely comfortable. Ling Xuan quickly cut the remaining meat Ganoderma lucidum into small pieces and ate them all. Buzz! He felt as if a hot little snake was running through his body. Sometimes it appears in the internal organs, sometimes it shuttles through the blood vessels, sometimes it runs in the muscles and bones, and sometimes it wanders in the limbs. Every time this hot little snake moves, it makes the places it passes along the way tougher and stronger. The feeling of soreness and pain also hit at the same time, eroding Ling Xuan's nerves. He gritted his teeth and insisted, without fainting. After an hour, the heat in the body gradually subsides. Ling Xuan clenched his fists, only feeling that his body seemed to be 3 points heavier. His heart beat harder and stronger, like a high-pressure water pump full of horsepower. Every beat would push the sticky but vibrant red blood all over his body, supplying his muscles and bones. If anyone can look inside his bones, they can see that his bone marrow is as clear as jade, pure and flawless, and free of impurities. The blood created also seemed to carry a trace of jade light. Blood is like mercury and frost. This is exactly the mark of the peak of the forging body realm. The previous body had reached this realm, so after Ling Xuan discovered such a change in his body, he immediately knew that he had returned to the peak of the forging body realm. It's really worthy of being a treasure of the Xuanjian middle grade, a meat Ganoderma lucidum. Directly allowing me to cross the consummation from the forging body realm Dacheng and reach the peak of the forging body realm. Ling Xuan clenched his fists and looked delighted. Chapter 6, The Pinnacle of the Forging Realm, Lei Shengji's Conspiracy. After a brief moment of joy, Ling Xuan opened his panel again. Name: Ling Xuan. Realm: the peak of the forging realm. Fate: the son of the medicine master, born Huigan, Kendo idiot, little luck. Fate: 2 months later, he went out on a mission, was ambushed by Lei Shengji and several scattered cultivators, captured alive, and brought back to Qingxuan City to force Ling Juding to hand over the mysterious elixir. In order to save his son, Ling Juding had to hand over the elixir. Then, both father and son were killed by Lei Shengji. Recent chance 1. Obtained. When killing Lei Yong, he found that the giant tree was hollow, cut off the bark and found that there was a meat Ganoderma lucidum in it, and after taking it, he entered the peak of the forging realm. Recent chance 2. After 1.5 months, he passed the outer door disciple assessment and returned to the first place in the outer gate. Ling Xuan was slightly surprised. The life of little luck was previously on Lei Yong's body, but now it has actually been transferred to him. Chapter 1 Previous